Welcome to the Soulful CXO. I'm your host, Dr. Rebecca Wynn. Please take a moment, remember to like, subscribe, and share the show. We are pleased to have with us today Lisa Plaggemier. Lisa is the Executive Director of the National Cybersecurity Alliance and an advisor on U.S. Secret Service Cyber Investigations Advisory Board. She's dedicated to empowering individuals and organizations to navigate the digital landscape safely and ensuring everyone can harness the benefits of technology worry-free. Her prior roles include executive positions at Ford Motor Company, CDK Global, InfoSec, and MediaPro. Lisa is recognized authority in cybersecurity and a frequent speaker at major industry events, including RSA, Gartner, and SANS. Lisa, it's so great seeing you again. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
For those out there who are not familiar with the National Cybersecurity Alliance, can you explain a little bit what that is, the initiatives they have, and how you do work with small companies as well to these big companies on their initiatives for cybersecurity and protecting yourself as an individual?
Yeah, so we are the founders of Cybersecurity Awareness Month. We've been doing that with the 21st Cybersecurity Awareness Month. And we've had a cooperative agreement with what was then DHS at the time, 21 years ago, what's now CISA. We've had a cooperative agreement with them for 21 years, mainly to execute on consumer awareness campaigns and industry campaigns for Cybersecurity Awareness Month. But aside from that, which most of us know about, and most of you, if you're a security professional watching this, you're pretty tired of security by the end of October. Well, you can blame us every October, but just keep in mind that people like your kids and people like your mom probably still need to hear all this stuff. So we do consumer campaigns all year round. We've done one in the summer. It's the Cybersecurity Survival Guide. It's kind of got like this national park look and feel, and it kind of talks about what to do if, you clicked on the phishing email or you've got a malware infection. Like, what are those survival tips? We're doing a campaign on all the different things that can go wrong in the process of selling and purchasing a home. From how busy you are getting your house prepped to sell, and like how susceptible you might be to like a phishing email or something during that time because you're just really distracted and incredibly busy trying to purge of all the stuff you've accumulated and get your house like painted and get out of there, all the way through to things that we think about more frequently, which is the fraud that can happen during the transaction itself, that money gets wired someplace that wasn't supposed to go. So there's just a lot of places in that transaction where there's weak points. So we've got consumer tips about that. We talk about safe holiday shopping at the holidays. We talk about usually romance scams and safe use of dating apps around Valentine's Day. Pick any kind of topic, whether you're giving your kids their first phone or you don't know how to use the parental control apps on devices and apps. Any topic you can think of that has to do with your average human interacting with technology. And really a lot of it is the same sort of 4 core behaviors that we preach. Phishing and all kinds of social engineering, using MFA, having better password habits, which probably means using a password manager, and then just keeping everything up to date and patched. It's not so much about the advice being different for different demographics. It's about customizing the message for people from different walks of life and different age groups and employed, not employed, students, retirees, whatever it is. It's how you package that advice that makes it engaging for them. And then we have some industry events that we run as well that are for executives. A lot of CISOs. We have an event in the market site every year for Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and we have a lunch at RSA every year. Things like that. But our main focus is educating the people who need it most, like my mom and my kids. That's 2 examples. 20-somethings and 80-somethings. I feel like I spend a lot of my time keeping them out of trouble. A lot of it.
And those resources are free. I'll make sure that we put that all in the
Absolutely.
descriptions for everybody.
Right. And we have campaign kits. So if you don't have a dedicated training and awareness manager, or you do, but you only have one and you have a lot that person is trying to accomplish or what have you, or you don't have resources to do graphics and write copy, We have campaign kits. You can download the whole kit. You can customize it, do whatever. There's no trademark or copyright on anything. You can do whatever you want with all of it to make it fit your organization and push it out to your employees. So it just makes it a lot easier to run awareness campaign. I should also mention we have a program to get more HBCU students into cybersecurity careers. We have a small business education program that aims to teach business owners how to manage cybersecurity as a part of their business, as opposed to like, we don't try to teach them to be technical. We teach them how to know what to questions to ask their IT person or their MSP, how to manage that function, because they know what to say to their lawyer. They know how to talk to their accountant. They have no idea how to talk to their IT person. So, so that class is going on, and yeah, a couple other things in the works, a couple other programs.
The key point there is budgets are always tight.
Mm-hmm.
But here's a free resource by people who are experts in the area to help you. And then if you don't see something that really is pertaining to you, write them so they can go ahead and see how they can help you. Or maybe that's something that's actually other people won't need it as well too. And then they can help get it developed.
We look for input all the time. If there's something that you feel like would be really useful, like this year to the Cybersecurity Awareness Month toolkit, we're going to add short how-to videos. Like really simple things that people like my mom struggle with. How to enable MFA on Facebook, for example, things like that. We're going to start including more video content in those toolkits.
Why do you think after all these years, going ahead and falling for similar type of phishing things constantly? Obviously, we have voice and phishing, and we have AI coming into the picture, which makes it more challenging. Mm-hmm. Why? Is it just because humans are humans that we keep struggling with it? Why do you think we keep struggling with it?
Yeah, I think technology isn't designed to be secure. I mean, I'm a big fan of the secure by design that CISO is pushing. When you think about things like the safety culture in the airline business, right? Like how that evolved over time. There's a guy named John Elliott who gives a really good presentation. It's probably recorded up there on the internet somewhere about the evolution of the culture of safety in airline. And you can really see like how we're probably on a parallel path. Or Bob Lord has from Soulful given a presentation on the auto industry and safety. I've done the same thing from a little bit of a different angle because I'm a kid from Detroit. But the parallels between like the evolution of automotive safety and software safety. And I think we're still at the advent of figuring out like how to design things that are a little more foolproof than the way they're designed today. The other thing I'd say is that for those 21 years of Cybersecurity Awareness Month, it's only been the last couple of years that we've decided that the message should be consistent every year, that we should focus on those 4 core behaviors. So when I first joined the National Cybersecurity Alliance, I remember seeing a document. It came from the technical folks at CISO that said, like, here's the things we should be focusing on for October. And it was literally like 20 pages. And any good marketer will tell you, or behavioral scientist, when people can't remember all that, they won't engage with it. It's just overload. But I think we sometimes have a hard time prioritizing insecurity because we're thinking about all of it all the time. But most people aren't, most people just need to know the basics. And if you think about the 3 or 4 things that would do the most good if everybody did them, it's those 4 things. And so I'm a proponent for staying really focused with the end consumer and everybody singing off the same song sheet and not changing that message until we see that it's made a difference. Because until we've made headway and more people have adopted those behaviors, then we absolutely shouldn't be changing the message and changing the focus unless we decide there's something else that's more important than MFA that people can be doing, that boots it off the list, then fine, but I don't think we're there yet. So it's really a matter of just a marketing practice of consistency, repetition, customized content depending on the demographic that you're talking to. It's all those basics. But there's been for a long time this communication chasm, I call it, between like what's happening in the world of cybersecurity and your average consumer. So just I think we're getting better at bridging that gap. We just have to stay the course.
I partner quite a bit with risk management if they have a risk management group. When we talked right there about were you paying cyber criminals or things like that, a lot of people, when they bring me in as an advisor, I immediately look at their contracts. I look at their cyber liability insurance if they have that, their private equity, for example, if they are funded, and what is those requirements. So before you get to writing a policy, you need to make sure you understand what the requirements of the upstream is, because one, you can find yourself in legal hot water very quickly for that. Or you might find out that they had requirements to report and you didn't think about it because you're downstream from them and causing a lot of chaos. Is that what you see too, where they don't think holistically?
Nobody asked security to review that contract before it got signed. Yeah. I remember being with the CISO once when he got a phone call to review, I think it was a sale of a subsidiary, and they gave him like less than 24 hours to review the deal. Because nobody thought to talk to security before they divested themselves of that part of the company. Yeah. I mean, that's unfortunate. It's a lot of that is relationships too. Making sure that you have allies around the organization and people know who you are and what you do and what business value you bring. That you're not the department of no, that you want to work with them, that you're there to protect the organization from, unintended things happening. And I think the business security officer model, the more organizations I talk to that have that model, I've worked in a company with that model, like I think that really helps a lot to be more embedded with the business and keep track of things like that, like contracts.
I'm always one of those hybrids because I have a big legal background. And one of the examples that I had is I came in after a merger and acquisition. I always tell people, let me review it before you do it. Because things weren't adding up, and I started looking at it and I found really their chief information security officer, all of the people that he had hired to do assessments of the company, he actually spun up LLCs underneath his own name. So he was signing himself off on every single thing.
I think you have to have a decent insider threat program. That means that somebody's watching the watchers. Seeing things kind of go sideways as well. It's just important to have transparency, as much transparency as you can possibly have. And then, somebody's got to watch the watchers.
I want to thank everybody for joining us. Please go ahead, if you haven't already, like, subscribe, and share the show. We mentioned several resources that we will get into the description, as well as Lisa's information. Lisa, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom. Learned a lot from you, and you're an inspiration to many of us out there. So keep up the great work.
Thank you. Thank you. It was a pleasure.